everybody, welcome to Top 10 Thursday on the Mana Leak. I'm John as always, and it's time for something a little bit off book. Of course, less than 24 hours from now, the Eldritch Moon first set review is going to be up. So I'm not going to do a huge, heavy, in-depth strategy-based Top 10 Thursday. I'm going to do the top 10 Magic the Gathering related items currently available on Etsy. For those who don't know, Etsy is a sort of crafter's hub. People who make items, they knit or they make jewelry or whatever, can sell their items on Crafty. And there's a huge nerd contingent on Crafty, and there's an awful lot of Magic the Gathering items. So these are 10 that I found that are available right now. Links to them are going to be available in the notes below. But yeah, we're going to get ready to started with number 10. Up first, we have a pretty simple item. It's an Abacus life counter made from cards, made by Nerdcraft Warehouse. Usually, these sort of Abacus life counters are made from the front face of a card, usually in conjunction with a 3D altar. So the art is sort of 3D created by cutting out pieces of cards, and then the text box is cut out and the Abacus goes in there. This one I like because it's the first time I've ever seen one made with the card backs, and the Magic the Gathering card back is just so iconic. I love that card back. It's so simple and yet just so encapsulating Magic the Gathering. I've never actually used one of these Abacus life counters, so I don't know if they're easy to use or not. I do slightly worry that you could easily knock them and have some beads go wonky and then your life total is ruined, just like using a spin down die. But as long as I figure the beads and the dies are, tight enough on that little piece of metal, it shouldn't be too much of an issue. But yeah, still, I love the Magic card back being used for sort of a useful piece of art. So number 10, this Abacus life counter. Up next is a deck box at number 9. There's going to be quite a few deck boxes on this list. I think there's about 4 or so because they're one of the most common items available on Etsy. All kinds of deck boxes are out there made from cloth or from leather or from wood. But this one specifically is just an absolutely gorgeous one made by X-Bow Woodshop. It's a walnut cedar deck box. It holds up to 100 cards. It comes with a divider for your sideboard and a little tray that sits in the top for your dice and for your counters and for whatever else you happen to have on you. If you're tired of having that plain Ultra Pro deck box that everybody at your local game store has, you can definitely upgrade with something like this, a really nice kind of clean, classic wooden deck box. But number 9, this walnut deck box. At number 8, we have a pair of dice from Grapevine Forge, but not just any dice. These are solid metal. The description said iron, steel. I don't know if it's an amalgam of the two or what it is, but solid metal, kind of rough-edged 1-inch dice with the Phyrexian symbol imprinted where the 1 would be. I love the way these look. They're just so Phyrexian. They're that rough sort of metal, and it looks like they came from New Phyrexia, previously known as Mirrodin. And yeah, they're just really cool. I would definitely wager they're probably not totally weighted, so they're probably not true random. I wouldn't use these at an REL, competitive REL or anything like that event to determine who goes first, but they are just really cool dice. I've always wanted a pair of metal dice, and these ones are pretty darn cool. But number 8, Phyrexian dice. Let's take a look at something a little bit cheaper and still extremely useful for number 7. We have this token and life counter from Jace's Toy Chest. This cool little counter is similar to the one that came in the Commander Arsenal, except it has a little slash in the middle that you can see there, meaning that not only can you use this as a life counter for your 20 life games, for your 40 life games, for your whatever life games you're doing, but because of that slash, you could also use this as a token replacement. If you have a 1/1 white spirit, set it to 1/1 and put it down, and we now know it's a 1/1, or it's a 1/2, or whatever it is. You can put it on your Tarmogoyf or any of your star creatures to clearly indicate what their current status is, and then change it as it changes. Very useful, relatively cheap. I would kind of like to have a little army of these guys just in my magic bag that I take to my local game store, so that I can just do my tokens. I don't have to worry about, making sure that I remember that little die is a 1/2 flying spirit. So I could just use this. But number 7, this life counter, token counter kind of thingy. Up next at number 6 is another dice box, but this one's pretty darn interesting. This is an Ultra Pro deck box, just like you've seen before. It's, got the mana symbol on the back, just like normal, but this one has an added difference added into it by Abbott's Hollow Studio. It's a big giant eyeball with like the eyebrow and the eyelid and everything kind of stitched into the leather of the deck box. Abacus Studio actually produces a ton of these sort of creaturized things. There's notebooks with faces in the leather. They look kind of like the Necronomicon from the Evil Dead series. They do all kinds of deck boxes. They do these Ultra Pro towers. They do the Ultra Pro long ones. They just modify these things and add these eyeballs. You can get them in all kinds of colors, both the deck box colors and the eye colors. There's different eye types and shapes. Really, really, really cool item. Another great upgrade if you want to go kind of the creepy, weird route instead of the sort of classic walnut wood route. So up to you. There's tons of crazy deck boxes, and this is another one at number 6. Up next at number 5, we have a universal token, another cheap and ridiculously useful item from Gnome Hardware. This is an unerasable creature token. So you can see it's a token that has checkboxes for the color of the token, the type, so it's got all the common types, zombies and human soldiers, etc. Plus, it's also got a little line so you can write in your really weird token, whatever that happens to be. Maybe you've produced a bat token or something like that. And then, of course, you can do power and toughness, and it's got spots to write in any effects that they have. So not only can you use this for your tokens that you've produced, you can use this for your clones. If you clone a creature, and you want to make sure you remember that that's a copy of that creature, you pull out your dry erase marker, you quickly write down what it is, and then you remember it. No more remembering if it's a 1/1 flying spirit or a 4/4 trampling Baloth, or if that progenitor mimic copied a Lanoir Elves, or if it copied a Grizzlebrand. You're always going to know because you've written it down on this quick little card here. Super awesome, really cheap, really handy little thing. I'd love to have a bunch of these as well. Number 5, the Universal Erasable Token. Up next at number 4, if you've ever wanted to own a MOX and not pay several $100s, you can. Although it's not going to be a magic card. It's going to be this hard resin replica of the actual MOX Necklace by Pixelstar07. They're made from a hard resin. It says that they're intended for display purposes. They can be worn, but apparently they are a little bit fragile, so you might want to be careful with them. They look really, really cool. They look super accurately reproduced from the original art from the Alpha Beta Unlimited cards. They look awesome. I would love to actually use one as sort of an additional piece of display in a framed display of the art of the card. So you could kind of have the print of the MOX Emerald and then the MOX Emerald necklace hanging below it in a frame. I think that would look absolutely awesome. You can buy them as a set, or you can buy individual ones if you just really want that MOX Ruby and you don't care about that MOX Jet. But yeah, MOXes. MOXes are available on Etsy. They're not the cards, but they're still pretty awesome. All right, so we've mostly looked at useful things. There's been a couple of little artsy things, but mostly useful things. Let's look at something a little bit less useful, like a $200 cape made from magic cards. Yeah, this is made by Twilight's Craft LLC, and I've seen some magic card clothing that people have worn at conventions, and they've always looked a little bit crummy. There's been a few awesome ones. I know there's one girl who does it every year, and she's done all kinds of different things. She's done capes, and she's done corsets, and she's done skirts, and she's done pants, and those are awesome, but a lot of them are kind of crummy. This one looks incredible. It's just like crazily done. I love the interlocking kind of leaves of the cards, and I love the fact that it works with the magic card backs facing out, but it also works with the lands because they've done a really nice sort of fading pattern of the colors into each other color. It's a really cool cape. It apparently fits a 6'2" adult, so I'm a little bit too short by that, by a few inches. But yeah, it's a huge, awesome cape. If you want to look just amazing / crazy at your next Grand Prix or your next local game store visit or whatever, you could definitely pick up this $200 cape made from magic cards. All right, up next at number 2 is another not useful, purely artistic item. This is an art piece done by Leoda Design, and it's really cool. It's a stack of 24 cards that have been cut down similar to how you would do a 3D altar. So normally you stack the cards and you cut out different layers of the card to make, the sword appear closer and the person appear farther back and the background farther still. This kind of doesn't bother with the art because it's done with the card backs, which I already talked about. I love how iconic they are. And instead it just goes for geometric patterns throughout it. The face down image doesn't quite do it justice, but the other images of this art piece from different angles show you really how intricate all of the designs are in this back. She has a couple of these up with magic cards, a couple of just with other playing cards and things like that. But it's such a cool little piece. My one qualm is that because it's made with magic cards, you know, it's magic card sized. It's not that big, you know, and so I don't really want to display something that big. I would love if it could be done with the oversized commander cards, because that's kind of a nice size where you could get a slight little sort of display ramp thingy and just kind of display it somewhere prominently. But the design of it, the intricacy of those geometric patterns are just awesome. So number 2, this art piece made with magic cards. All right, for number 1, we're heading back to deck boxes, but boy, are these ones cool. Dragon Whelp Designs will burn your favorite card art into a box, producing absolutely amazing boxes. You can see a bunch of examples here of Emrakul and Sulphurous Springs, Birds of Paradise, Slitherhead, a bunch more. You tell them what art you want put into it and they will burn it in. You can get them done in full color, you can get them done in light color, you can get them done in black and white. You can get whatever you want done because they're all custom made to order. They're expensive, but the art and the skill done with the wood burning is just incredible. These boxes are amazing. I absolutely need to get one someday. I have no idea what art I would choose, but I need one of these at some point. Number 1, these burnt wood boxes from Dragon Whelp Designs. All right, so that's going to wrap it up for the top 10 Magic the Gathering related products found on Etsy that I found today. As I said, you can find links to all of those in the show notes down below. Definitely let me know if you have any favorite Etsy sellers or favorite Etsy items, or if you found something cool that maybe isn't available anymore. Let me know in the comments down below. As always, if you have any questions, comments, or suggestions, you can find me on Twitter at TheManaLeak. That's L-E-E-K, like the vegetable, not the card. You can find me on Twitch at twitch.tv/TheManaLeak and Facebook.com/TheManaLeak. You found me here on YouTube. You've got that comment section down below. Make use of that, please. Click that thumbs up icon if you like my content. Click that subscribe button if you want to stay up to date on all the latest videos, such as the Eldritch Moon set reviews that will be starting probably 24 hours from when this video goes up. If you're seeing it anytime after this video goes up, they're probably already up, so go look at them. They're going to be amazing. I love this set so far. It looks really fun. But as always, if you have any questions, comments, or suggestions, let me know. Otherwise, I'll see y'all next time.